Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome to the Purple Patch Boutique News Break. You guys know who I am. Ulysses Clark, Mr. Purple Patches, right? So, if you are coming in here today to be a part of this news break, you know the first thing I need you guys to do is to come in, say hello, say good afternoon, or give me a greeting from wherever you're at, depending on what time it is, right? And then I want you guys to let me know where you're coming in from, because, you know, that's how we always start off our news breaks. I need to know where everybody's coming in from, whether it be Georgia, whether it be California, whether it be Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Iowa, wherever you're coming in from, let me know. So let me know what you guys are doing. How you doing, Miss Roseman? Thank you for being here. So I'm just going over my notes really quick, right? Making sure I got my notes together. But welcome to the live show, the news break, okay? So, good afternoon from Georgia. Yes, honey. Indicator. And you know what, Miss Rose Lady, I'm gonna tell you something. Every time I see you in the Georgia, every time I see your name, I think about that song that came out years ago called Indicator. And that was I forget who sung that song. I remember it was on Hit List or BET, right? And every time I see your name, I think about that song, Indicator. I love that song. That was a song that we love. That time I was in Florida, so we really loved that song. Came straight out of Georgia that time, and this was years ago. I think this is 20 plus years ago when this came out. But good. So got my pillows on. I love them. Okay, thank you for that feedback, Miss King. Hello. All right, Miss Danielle Gordon, Miss Gordon. Good afternoon. Miss Madeline Rose Lady Evans said she loved the pillow, so great.
Oh, yeah.
Super fantastic. That makes me happy. All right, that's you. That's you putting in there. I got to start reading what you wrote. Oh, man. So, welcome, Queens. Thank you guys for being here. Let me know where you guys are coming in from, okay? This is going to be a good news break. This is going to be a terrific news break. You know, the news breaks are here for you guys to talk with the owners, talk about things, and talk to us about things that's going on, things that you may not have been comfortable with reaching out and saying, or maybe you feel better saying it inside of the chat with the community. So utilize the chat if you're here. If you've had any issues, any problems, any good points, any negative points, utilize the chat to let us know what's going on, okay? In 3 minutes, okay? So should be right back. Going to change devices. Excellent, okay. So I want you guys to utilize that chat while you're in here. I want you guys to know that, you know, bad news doesn't get better with time. We can't fix things unless we know exactly what's going on. So you got to talk to us and communicate that to us, right?
Hey, ladies.
Also,
I'm here too.
I always like to start off with one of my policy things is that some people may want us to rectify things fast. Purple Patch Boutique is nothing without chances. It's something we believe in. So what we do is, you know, we build up that 3-strike policy, and depending on what the infraction is, you know, we can jump those measures too. But, you know, that'll be coming out in later days, actually, what those statements are going to be. But essentially, you have 3 strikes, and we're documenting everything until it comes to that point. Then whoever that individual is will get that talk from Mr. Clark, and I engage them with whatever that situation is, okay? So I want you guys to understand that, right? So this isn't that, you know, you got done wrong and you feel like this should happen. You know, we don't let that dictate what our policy is or what we're doing. But we are standing on policy. And if you ever have questions about that, use the open door policy, which is you let me know that, hey, you need to speak, and we're going to sit down, we're going to speak. And that's just an open door where you come in and we talk about things that you need to discuss. OK, utilize that. And that will and that is that door is readily available to you. OK. So don't hesitate to use that too if you need an explanation on different things, okay? Our job is to keep everybody satisfied. I would say the customer is always right, you know, like the old policy used to be, but sometimes it's not that way. But what we will do is find the right solution for everybody, okay? So good day to you too, Miss Knight, Miss Manya, good afternoon. So let me know where you guys coming in from. Also, let's talk about that weather, right? So I want you guys to tell me what's going on with the weather where you're at, okay? While we're waiting to get things started in the next 2-3 minutes. I think we started off last night. We went into about -8 when we went to bed. I think I went to bed about 1:30 a.m. By the time I got up about 5:30 a.m., we were at 6 degrees on the positive side, okay? But we've been in
snow.
But we had snow. So my son just finished shoveling outside. We've had a lot of negative degrees. I think the negative we went at, what was the negative? What was it? The lowest we had negative what? It was lower than like negative 18, I think.
Yeah,
right?
it wasn't. Yeah.
But lower than negative 18, you know. But that's pretty cold, you know. So that's what we had going on over the past couple of days. Like I said, we were still in the negative until last night, and then we woke up this morning in the positive. But we got snow again, and then we're expecting within the next 24 hours a whole bunch of bad inclement weather. Okay, so I just want to know what's going on. Hello, snowing, Miss Reed. Okay,
I also
snowing
wanna,
in New Jersey.
I also want to say something. Since I posted it on the page today too, ladies. Hey. So today, it ran across my mind that post offices might be closed. You know, in certain areas, in certain counties, in certain districts, because of the bad weather. You know, we have to also see the mailman. Like our mail arrives at 6 or 7 in the evening right now because of the harsh weather conditions. So there's not only here, there's like in everywhere where it's snow right now and where it's bad. So you have to consider this. So this is also for the shoppers. So if your package is not arriving in the standard days that you expect it to arrive, it's because of the weather conditions. And you see it on the news too. So this is nothing what we're making up. This is basically what's going on. So be patient. Your packages will arrive. It will just be a little bit delayed because of the weather. Okay.
All right. So Miss Presley. Okay. Welcome, Queen. All my pretty ladies. Good afternoon. Welcome to the news break. She says Alabama 48 with rain, low 25 tonight.
Yeah.
And so somebody said it's snowing in Jersey. We got snowing in Colorado.
Power outages.
And heavy rain. Lights been out since about 4 a.m. That's Miss Knight. Okay.
So for those who have power outages and they normally would do invoices, you know, so you have to consider that too, that they can't because they don't have no electric. So things like this are delayed. So don't be in the inbox and be like, hey, I don't get an invoice or I don't get that because this is the reason they have maybe a power outage, you know.
Right.
Things happen.
Miss Manda says we've been icing here in Louisiana the past 2 days in the 20s. It's supposed to be 12 degrees tonight. And then she says postal facilities were closed yesterday. Yeah. I don't know about tomorrow yet. Miss Edmonds says it's 39 degrees, feeling like 27 degrees, rain moving in again, and temperatures are dropping all day. Will be 18 degrees. Let me see. Will be. Will be. What? Let me hold on. I lost my comments. Hold on. Say will be
12 inches of snow in Ohio.
18 degrees in the morning when I go to work at 6 a.m. Okay. Yeah, that's right. The little snow power was off yesterday.
So okay. So explain what people need to do when it's power outage, when it's cold weather. When it's cold weather, when it's power outage, and your heater is not working.
Solid ice, okay.
So we are here to tell you also, okay, like solid ice, you know, iced in, rained in, snowed in, all this. So what are we doing? We are going in the house in one room. We're lighting candles, okay? Yeah. Candles give also heat.
Consolidate and conserve.
Yeah, if you have to, you know, move your whole family into the kitchen. And if you have gas, cut on your gas stove, and, you know, and bring some type of heat in.
I don't know if you guys are from those old, you know, from those old situations, you know, those struggles where, you know, you huddle around that gas stove, you know, for heat because there's no other heat in the house, you know. But I can tell you about situations and things like that, you know. But you want to conserve and consolidate, okay? So if you're losing that power, do not spread the family thin. Get you some blankets, get you some candles. You know, we have up here we have gas and electric, right? Some just have gas. Very seldom they have electric, but you know, that's how Milwaukee's running, right? So you know, if you got the gas stove, you wanna huddle around that. Kerosene heaters. I don't know if you guys have got those. Like I said, it gets pretty cold here, but you wanna kinda huddle, consolidate, keep warm blankets on, layer your clothes, okay? And conserve.
Children always comes
babies,
first.
you need to make sure you wrap those babies up, okay? I don't know what the weather is doing. If you ask my opinion on life, I just say that maybe the weather is here like this across the world because it's a lot of sickness, and that sickness needs to get pushed out. Normally when catastrophes happen, it's about something that's rugged within the world that needs to get put out. And right now, that flu, if anybody's had it, it's recirculating. You think it's going, it comes back. You think it's going, it comes back. It's spreading to the next person, the next person. Babies and children are dying. So a lot of these things need to be, a lot of those things need to be, a lot of those things kind of need to be, pushed out. Okay. So, that's just my opinion. But in the meantime, if you're cold, if you're going through that situation, okay, make sure you huddle, get in one room, extra blankets, layers, candles, gas stove, heaters. Make sure you those heaters are safe too, not next to anything that burns too, because things can get hot. They also take a certain cord too. So if you feel that cord getting hot, that means that whatever you're plugging into, it's not that. So
gas heaters.
Yeah, gas heaters. Cause we got that big kerosene one. I got a couple of those too.
Be sure you have a form of ventilation when you're enclosed in the tight space. Yep, that's it. And like I said, and if you really have to, if there's no other way to get heat in and you have a gas stove, cut on the gas stove, let it burn to bring some type of heat in that house, It is necessary to stay alive and stay warm. And if you have to leave the house and go to a neighbor's house or to somebody else, or friends, family.
Or go to family,
then do that,
Yeah.
Make sure you bring your animals into the house. Because what we saw here, especially also in our neighborhood, is that the people, they are freezing there. They're going into the house, they want to stay warm, but they leave the dogs outside, tied up on a chain. So it breaks my heart every time to see this. So bring your animals in the house. They're freezing too. Not only you are cold, your animals are cold too.
Everything in my neighborhood is covered in white. It's from Miss Monia. Most likely not going to work tomorrow. Nothing is worth risking your life. Getting on the ice covered road. Amen.
Yes. Yes, honey.
Yep. So, like I said, you got it right now. You got to be careful because that can be dangerous too. But I want you, self-care. I want you guys to take care of yourselves, okay? That's the most important thing. Family first, take care of yourself, okay? You guys know I'm a big promoter of that. So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and kick off this this news break. So, let me grab my notes. So, by the way, I want to welcome, and I want you guys to give a round of applause, and a good warm welcome to
Hold on.
Oh, she gonna put on the wrong sound. See the wrong sound already. You see what I'm saying? Okay, that sound right there. No, we're not giving away no y'all. We're giving away a round of applause right now, right? So, later on today we'll be giving away the y'all when my wife goes live, which is after me, I believe. But we got Miss Danielle Gordon, who's one of the moderators here at Purple Passions. Thank you very much. She's been doing a superb job so far, and we appreciate her coming on board. And Miss Shane Knight has came on board, okay? And you'll see her reselling sometimes, but she's in and out of the lives, okay? So those are our two moderators, and I want to say a special warm welcome to them. Thank you guys for being a part of Purple Passions Boutique. And, we look forward to great things coming from you guys and from the community. These are your new moderators. Make sure they feel welcome. And make sure we treat each other and everybody with respect, okay? So if you hear anything coming in from them, they're there for a reason. They're telling you the right thing, okay? So I want to put that out there. So if you don't know, now you know, okay? Now the pleasure's ours, Miss Knight. We've been working together for a while, so I'm glad to see you on board, especially because like I said, everything's about blossoming and growing. Like I said, I can train all day long, So if you stick with me, you'll get the whole mindset and you'll understand. So and I look forward to just seeing you guys grow and progress. Okay. So thank you. I thank you guys so much. All right. So if you guys have not seen the post, okay, there is a post. There is a post that is circulating inside of our feature section of our business page, okay? And that is going to be about Valentine's Love Week. Now, I like to call it Lover's Lane, right? Some people call it the Love Week Marathon or the Valentine's Love Week, right? It's happening only on Purple Passions exclusively. It is from February 7th to February 15th, okay? Now, there are special dates on each one of those, right? From the 7th to the 14th. We all know that the 14th is Valentine's Day. So what do we put our prices at from the 7th to the 15th? It's going to be $2.14 if you want to book a live. It is the second month and the 14th day, $2.14. That is from the 7th to the 15th, right? Did I say that right?
Yeah, so our Valentine's Love Week Marathon, okay? Like my husband said, from the 7th to the 15th. Now, only from the 7th to the 15th, all lives are going to be $2.14 per hour, okay? You're able to book a double, whatever is necessary for you if you want. But know that every day, if you read the flyers that are from the 7th is the roast day, read upon it what is stated. Because on one day you have to tag a friend, you know, they can win a prize, you know, etc., who has like they need to post their favorite plushies.
You didn't let me get there yet.
Wait. So so you have to
Let me
read.
get there.
You have to read this, okay? So every day has something different going on, and like I said, only from the 7th to the 15th. On the 15th is the clearance day of the Valentine's Day Marathon. Everything is $2.14. So their regular lives are.
See, my wife, she all out of sync again. See, between my wife and the admin, they always do this every week. Every week, they don't follow no script that I got on my paper here. But the lives outside of this will be $4.44. Okay,
right.
So I'll be outside of the 7th, between the 7th and the 15th. You know, that's going to be the 1st through the 6th, and from the 16th through I think it's 29 days, 29 days. That's going to be regular price $4.44. Midnights for 3 hours are going to be $9.99. Okay, those are going to be regular prices. Okay, there are no bundles for the month. Okay, so let me go ahead and clarify that now. But on Valentine's week, right? And what's important for me to let you guys know on that is that each day is going to be a lover's day. Okay, you have chocolate day, you have rose day, you got tag a friend that needs a hug day. You got Kiss Day. So each one of those days is going to be something special on that day. So I want you guys, all the bookings are posted underneath one post. So when you go in and open up that post, it's going to tell you which day that you may want to be on. And it's going to have what is going on for that day, what you need to pay attention to. So it's going to be something special that's happening on that day, okay? So make sure you just don't say, I want to be on the 8th. Go see what's happening on the day of the 8th, okay?
Oh, and
I want you to...
I forgot you can only book this with Latoya or me, okay? Because it is not bookable on the calendar.
Right.
So from the 7th to the 15th, those days are completely blacked out. You're not able to book it on the calendar. You have to inbox Latoya or me for booking because you have to be either invoiced for the booking fee for the $2.14 or you pay via Cash App. Right.
So those days that she said is going to be only bookable, not through the calendar like normal. You're going to have to contact Miss Coleman, our admin expert, or my wife directly to book those slots, okay?
And you will be immediately added. Even now, when you book now already, you'll be added for the February.
Right. So the idea is for you guys to go and do this ahead of time. I want you guys to go click on that, open up that post, and it's going to drop down, and it's going to give you, it's underneath featured, and it's going to be all of those, it's going to be all of those dates on there, okay, consecutively, okay, and you're going to be able to click on what's happening for that day, and you're going to be able to say, hey, I want to be here, and then notify one of the two, either my admin expert, Miss Latoya Coleman, or my wife, Miss Sabrina Clark, okay? So that way you can get booked in, okay? So we want to fill those slots. We want to get you guys in. $2.14 as a price. I think you guys are going to love this. It's something different. It may be some added perks to that. I haven't decided yet. We're still a few days out, and I'm working on some things for that week. So I will let you guys know. I don't want to air out too much of my information because you guys know I got a lot of viewers. They're siphoning my information. They watching. They don't want to come join my news break. Get in my news break. You want to be here with me. You see the eyes. It's not Wednesday. I'm not biting nobody. You better get in this doggone news break. But no, you guys go check that out, okay? That's going to be a lot of fun. Actually, my wife and Miss Coleman put a lot of effort into that. And I think that they put together a great idea, a great package for you guys. So I want you guys to check that out. And that also supports them with the hard work they're putting in because they're sitting down all day, every day. I think Miss Coleman calls my wife 35 times in one day. My wife is answering 35 times in one day, and they're putting together. So the idea comes, she's calling them, then they're talking about it, and they're trying to put it together, and which is a lot of brainstorming to try to for the community to try to keep you guys satisfied. So I want you guys to understand that we like the participation from everybody because we're sitting there putting that much time and effort into it, okay? What's the next step? What's the next perk? What can we do for you guys, okay? So when you come in into those lives and during those marathons and support, that is very important for them because that makes them feel like the effort they're putting into you guys is worthwhile, okay? And this is what I call pouring in. A lot of people look at most of the time I tell my wife, I don't see most of myself until it's free. When it's free, I see everybody, but nobody comes in and supports outside of that, and I said that, with all the brainstorming and all the work you guys putting in, you want to see the seeds that you're sowing successful, so it's not about the payment, when they say go free. It's about, they want their idea supported. So they're saying, hey, come on there, but payment also helps them too to make it feel like it's valuable. You see what I'm saying? So worse sometimes is going in and booking that slot, or booking outside of that to show that support for them because they're sitting there, and I'm telling you, they're sitting there even, and they're even contacting Miss Tanya Alicia too, which is, we always look at her as our probably most veteran seller, and because she's been in business longer than just this and other things too. And I don't want to put all that out there, but we have to get advices too sometimes just to hear a different aspect from just a business side of things. Okay. So, they're putting together a lot of effort for you guys. So please show them that support. Okay. Thank you, Miss Edmonds. She said the flyers for those individual dates are really nice. Yes. My wife built those flyers. And she put a lot of work. She was sitting on the couch and she was asking me to read over this and look over this, and she was putting together the flyers. So, the flyers were great. Oh, this is good cold orange juice. Oh, yes. My goodness. Mm-hmm. Oh man. Mm-hmm. I'm back. Vitamin C. Excuse me for that. But, I will step away from that. I can't even put in my right pen. Okay, so we covered that. Now I want to jump into now with the booking, right? So as I said, you have to contact my admin expert or my wife for booking, okay? But I want to start here before I even go into my next point. Booking responsibility, okay? This is to all my sellers, resellers, whatever it is, okay? The moment you book, you own your slot, okay? I want you guys to start understanding that. You need to record your slot immediately on a calendar, on your alarm, or your written note. Now, if now let me say this, and I've said this before. I don't care if you got AOL, I don't care if you got MSN, I don't care if you got Yahoo, Hotmail, Gmail, DuckDuckGo, whatever it is, right? If you put that calendar in, okay, it's going to sync to your other one, or you can sync it to the whatever email you have, and it's going to generate a reminder. It's going to let you know 30 minutes before you're live, or that you have a live, or that your live is coming up, okay? So, yes, the slots are moving very, very fast, okay? And for that low price too. And I'm saying that because what I'm trying to cover is what is the booker responsibility right now. So that's what we're talking about. So right now what is happening is that my admin and my wife is becoming the secretaries for people that are booking slots, and it shouldn't happen like that, okay? And if you need help, I don't want to go live every day, but those flyers make me want to. Miss Tanya, I got something special to talk to you about, okay? During that week that I may need from you, but I don't know if it's going to fit in your schedule because you running 100 miles an hour. Like I said, you like my mother, you're running 100 miles an hour. You guys don't know when to stop, but I got something that an idea to run by you, but I also got something specific for you that I would like to see and use you for the test subject to see if it's going to work. But we'll talk offline with that. This is the book responsibilities for the sellers, okay? The moment you grab that slot, you own that slot. Why is it that way? Because you're setting up that time saying that I'm able to go live. I want to go live here. This is important for me to have this time frame. Can I have this time frame? I'm paying for this time frame, etc. Okay. So this is very, very important. So when you book that slot, you own that slot. Okay. So that means that immediately when you do that, you get a confirmation. When you get that confirmation, then you need to, hold on to that confirmation. I recommend that you make a little folder on the side of your email and put Purple Patch Boutique or live shows or live sales and slide that confirmation over to there, because we get the confirmation and so do you. Okay. Also pay attention to when you're checking yes. Each statement you're checking a block with yes, because I can go in there and look and see what you're checking yes to. You're checking yes to, yes, I will have my liar posted and turned in within 24 hours. Yes, yes, I will pay my cancellation fee if I decide not to show up. You're checking yes, 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 which binds you into that agreement, okay? So don't just don't check yes because you're going through formalities, and then when someone messages you, say, hey, what about this and that? Then we get the attitude, the madness, and everything else that comes with it. When this is all stated, it's actually written on the left side, and you're actually checking yes to it. So it's asking the question, will you comply with that type of directive, okay? So make sure you're paying attention to that, okay? So how you doing, Miss Holmes? You hit the what you call it up there? The laptop. There you go. Thank you. So you own your slot, record your slot immediately. Also, the seller responsibility is to know who's in front of you and who's after you, okay? You need to know who's in front of you and after you, and this is called handoff respect, okay? Like I always tell the sellers, I want the sellers there 5 minutes early. Why? Because we can go through any technical difficulties to find out what's going on. What I see happening and what is not good is that we have 15-minute windows in between each live normally, right? 5, 10, 15. I'm going to go with when we had an hour and a half and we have 15 in between, right? From my admin, all right? Every year I get spiral calendar just for my lives, payments, bookings, and platforms. Nothing else goes in it. That's been working me in the past year. It's easy to keep up with everything. Okay, she said get a spiral calendar. Okay, yep, okay. So you guys, Miss Monty just put some information in the chat. I want you guys to read that. She says every year I get a spiral calendar just for my lives, payments, bookings, and platforms. Nothing else goes in it. That's been working for me in the past years. It's easy to keep up with everything, okay? Mm-hmm. So take that trip with the trade. Miss Monty's been selling for a while. Veteran seller. She's giving you a trick from her playbook, okay, of something you can utilize to keep you on track. In the military, we got a thing called on time, on target. Okay, mm-hmm. So make sure you're on time, on target. So get you something to do it. My son, the crazy part is my son gets a calendar every year, and he fills out his calendar from the year from when he's washing bedding, when he's taking out chores, everything.
When he's cutting fingernails.
Yeah, when he's cutting fingernails, all that stuff. Because, in puberty, they forget everything. They forget the name. Like you call them, I didn't know that was my name. How you don't know this? I've been calling you this for 13 years. That is your name. How you forget your name? Okay, I don't understand that. They forget their name.
They forget the age.
They forget the age. I asked my son how old he was the other day. He said he was 12. He just turned 13.
Right.
He forgot how old he was. How do you do that in puberty? When I was in puberty, we weren't going through that. It was boosted butt. You better not forget nothing, right? We was waking ourselves up in the morning. I started to wake my son up in the morning, right? We were waking ourselves up. We didn't have no school buses. We was walking through the snow. It was walking everywhere. They always said you either had a bike or you had your other wheels, and that was your feet, right? So I'm just telling you. So get that calendar, put some information on there, keep it where you can see it, and I promise you it's gonna help you out, okay? Mm-hmm. Like I said, know who's before you and after you. Hand off respect. Know who's coming behind you, so that way you can keep your time in that slot. Like I said in the past, what we've been seeing is in menopause too. LOL.
Yes, honey.
Stop it.
Yeah, we forget everything.
In menopause, you forget everything. Okay. I hope men don't go through that phase, right?
Men have menopause too.
My wife be like, men have menopause too. Shoot.
Yes, they do.
In the past, what we've been seeing is that they're like, okay, I got 15 minutes in between, so I'm gonna start 8 minutes early, right? and then they're going to go that hour and a half, and then they go 7 minutes into the other side. So they're trying to get that hour and 45 minutes. That's wrong. That 15-minute window is for the other person to prepare technically, and then they're supposed to be finishing 5 minutes early too, so you get your full fill of that hour and a half. Now, slots are an hour right now, okay? Next month, every slot is an hour. Okay, so don't get it confused.
I want to say something to this. If you are late into your starting time, like, well, let's say you start at 1 o'clock and you come on in at 1:10, then you only have that 45 minutes, and then you rest 5 minutes to hop off. You don't have a full hour anymore.
Yeah, if you show up late, you're still within that window. And I said this before too. That's your time frame, okay? So if you're 15 minutes late, 15 minutes late, I'm normally pulling the rights, okay? So if you're 5-10 minutes late, you jump in, that you still have that time frame to complete. So you better speed walk through that rack, okay?
Trisha in the house. I hope you feel better, Trisha.
Trisha's still with us. I hope she's feeling better. We was worried about you, Trish. I promise you we were. Someone should run the entire live event to show others the full benefit. Oh, Lord. She back. She's back with them ideas again. She's back, you know. But I want you guys to understand those points right there. And also the last point is monitor the lineup, post it the night prior and again the day of. So this is the responsibilities of a seller. So remember, the responsibility of the seller is once you book that slot, you own it. Record your slot immediately, whether it's on the calendar, an alarm on your phone, or a written note. You need to know your start time, your end time, and also your time zone, okay? Now, I need everybody to learn their time zone, okay?
Know your time zone.
I'm learning everybody else's time zone so much that I'm forgetting my own time zone, okay? Now, look, Queens, you guys got to help me with this, right? We got several different time zones, okay? So I need everybody to know their time zone. So that's going to take you guys writing it down and figuring out. I think EST is 1 hour behind and 1 hour in front of CST, and PST is 2 hours behind CST. Am I correct on that?
All lives are booked in EST time.
Now,
Eastern Standard Time.
Right. Now, yep, all lives are booked in EST. I want you guys to understand that. When our calendar, because we own the calendar, you're going to see CST automatically. And this is something that I put out in the when you're on the booking schedule. Before you book that date, if you look to the left of where it's got those numbers in it for the calendar, it's going to say, make sure you switch the time to EST. Why? Because we are the calendar holder, and it has it, since we hold that calendar, we pay for that calendar, it has got it booked in our location, which is a CST time frame. Okay, so you have to change it to EST, and plus we always book in EST, so you never have to ask, hey, is my time frame EST? Yes, it is. Everything is booked in EST. Okay.
Set alarm.
I'm really bad at what I'm trying to say. It's working for me. As soon as I pay, I write it on my calendar book. Okay, yep, that's Miss Manya. So
Ms.
the calendar
said set alarms. That's what I do during lives. It's pretty helpful. It's annoying when someone is on your time. Yes.
Right. Yep. And Miss Shaquille has suffered from that. So let's call a spade a spade. You know, Miss Shaquille, you know, she be ready to go. You know, she be ready to go. If you ever see her workout video, she be ready to go. So if she ready to go live, she ready to go live. So you gotta move out the way, right? So she be ready to go. And then when you impede on that time, when you encroach on that time, it's not fair to that next seller, right? Now the seller is normally upset, and they should be, you know, and we try to do what we can to compensate and make that right. But this right here takes a village to complete, right?
Right.
It takes a village. We're putting out the information, right? And we're telling you how to do, what to do, and why you should do it. Now it's up to everybody to follow that direction. So this is going to take a village. It's not just going to take me. It's going to take me. It's going to take the resellers. It's going to take the admins. It's going to take all of us. And that's why we are a community to mitigate this problem right here. And the problem that we have right now within our community is that there is no handoff respect. Nobody's watching their and I'm not saying nobody. Those of you that are, don't take it the wrong way. But what I'm saying is, we have encroachment in other people's time because people are not paying attention to when they're getting off, when they're coming on. They're having bot issues that they shouldn't have. And I want to let you guys know, hey, we need to fix this, and we need to fix this together, okay? So
I want to hop in real quick and say something. So I want to address something. And I'm not going to give any names and say where this came from and whatever. So I received, since we went on $2.26, right? I received a lot of hate messages from other platform owners. And I don't know why and I don't know why that is a problem to everybody else, but they say that I don't follow the standards that other platform owners have to make a live at least $10 worth, or $15 or $20.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they say, I got from one platform owner, I got cussed out. Okay, so they said that I'm ruining their business and their standards by going with $2.26. So, I'm going $2.14 in February. Okay, only from the 7th till the 15th. And like I said, this is my platform. This is Purple Passions Boutique. It's my platform and my husband's platform. I don't care what everybody else is doing. If you go and raise your prices to $30 to $40 an hour, that's your problem. If you think that sellers need to pay you that in order to go live, that they have more sales or whatever, then go ahead and more power to you. All I'm saying is this. With the $2.26, I'm definitely not going to get rich, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not from no seller. I cannot even pay a water bill with $2.26. Even when 10 sellers go on my platform, I cannot pay my bills with this. So it don't really do anything for me, right? It doesn't at all. So, but what I'm doing and what I want to do is I want to build a community. I want to build a standard that every seller, right, that goes on Purple Passion Boutique is definitely going to have sales. Mm-hmm. You will not run in a situation that you go live paying $2.26 and you walk out with no sales. That will never happen. You will always have sales on Purple Passions Boutique because my moderators, my admin, and I will make sure to tag the people into your life that you're going to have sales. Okay? The shoppers will shop with you if you are a nice person, if you're a nice seller, if you follow the community rules and everything. So, I do not want to raise my prices to $20 or $30, and I will not do that. So I don't care how mad you get, and I don't care how many messages I'm going to receive from you. And now, to you sellers, I want to tell you one thing. Whether you pay $20 and go on a platform, your sales are still going to be the same. Like if you would go on Purple Passions Boutique, you just go. The only difference is that you're going to go 10 times on Purple Passions Boutique before you go on other platforms, right? You just pay one time at $20, you do your thing, and you walk out with whatever you walk out. Mm-hmm. Some platform owners, they are not tagging, they are not sharing for you, they don't do nothing, so you're on your own. How do I know this? Because I've been there. I walked out with 3 sales and 5 sales, and I was like, okay, it is what it is, right? But sharing and tagging makes a difference also into your own life. That's what I'm always saying. If you are willing to have sales, if you want to be successful in selling, right? Then you go and tag and share your own people, your own shoppers into your life. If you're just doing this just to wait till somebody is doing your job, then you just have to go with those people that I get tagged in for you, right? But if you are a seasoned seller, you should already know how to tag and how to share your own shoppers into your life, okay? So, and if you need a platform, and I'm not saying to stay with Purple Passions, it is whatever you feel like, because every platform is not for everybody. So you might feel comfortable here with us, and you might feel uncomfortable somewhere else. I went to many platforms, and I just had a few that I feel comfortable with, and I had other platforms that I feel completely uncomfortable with. So it's that feeling, that you create in your guts and your stomach, I guess, with your personal feeling that you say, okay, I'm getting treated well over here. I'm doing this and also the $2.26 give some sellers the opportunity that are not having so much money, available to pay $20 in their life, that maybe have some children, some babies at home, they're feeding the family and that's the only business they have, so they are happy to go for cheap on the platform. That doesn't make us, Purple Passions Boutique, look cheap. They just give other people and other sellers, the opportunity to make something, on the side.
So I think my wife, she jumped all the way in front again, right? So I tell you something, and I told my wife today I was going to talk to my community, so I go in and say it now, right? I say that the word change, right? A lot of people are afraid of change, right? You don't see a lot of things happen within the world, within our country, within our communities because of the word change, right? And I say that because of this, when we stepped in here and we were just Purple Passions Boutique, I remember when my wife jumped out there, and I tell you the impression that I got. My wife jumped out there. She was good at what she was doing. She was bringing a lot of things different. She was bringing a lot of things that people weren't even selling. After that, you saw the market start changing, and it seemed like it was migrating to different things that she decided to bring, right? And, she was setting different trends. And then I saw the animosity came. And I always felt like that, because during that time frame, what a lot of people didn't know was my wife was going to those big sellers and actually talking with them, asking them questions. She was seeking to go behind them and be kind of an understudy to learn more, to engage them, because she had people that she favored and that she liked. And then even those people turned around and went in the opposite direction, right? And I watched all this with my own eyes, right? And if anybody knows my wife, if anybody knows me, period, they know that my wife is my everything. I do everything with my wife. Me and my wife are sometimes wearing the same shoes. My wife is everything. I don't let my wife go through nothing by herself. No one will say nothing to her. My wife is up here. She's the biggest queen that I've ever met, and I don't let anything come on her, because as much as she's given me and within my career and everything that I've done, me running 100 miles an hour to hold me down like that, that is why she's put on that pedestal. And I watched a lot of things come, and I told my wife, I said, sometimes when you're in a boat, another boat will come by to create that ripple, right? And some people will look and they say, why is my boat rocking? And then when they look and see, this is my boat, but this is a yacht, then instead of them saying, oh, that's a nice yacht, they get jealous and they say, hey, why does he have that yacht? Oh, he thinks he's better. It has nothing to do with that. But that's the perception of what's in your mind. That's the spirit that's on you, that's speaking on whatever that yacht is, right? And you have the ability at that point to either, hey, say, I'm going to get better and I want to get to that point. Maybe even find a person, how did you get here? Maybe something you can change your life and get there. Or you can be comfortable and be patient and be happy with what you have, right? It's three ways. Or you can go the fourth way, which is the hateful way. So, when someone says, hey, you're not following the trend, this is how we're doing business, so you should be doing business the same way because you hate and you cutting into our pockets. Our belief system, our ethics and morals was what I told you guys a long time ago, was to live and let live. That means that if I get something nice and I can let that person have something nice, they want to live too. Let them be able to live, so we let them live, right? So we're not charging arm and a leg for a lot of things, Like I said, a lot of people are like, man, that's worth more than that, and you sell it for this, right? It's really not a big deal. You live and let live, because that's how you receive everything back in life. Life don't see money. That's what we see as people. Life sees value. It sees values in your ethics, your morals, your belief system, and what you're doing every day. I know this because I've had so many failures and mistakes in my life. I understand so much about life in order to make the right moves. I understand how to be successful, and you can be successful and just live on blessings, and you don't even have to spend a cent if you really want to, if you want to go that far. But what I'm saying is this, for her to receive those messages, like I said, Mr. Clark don't get messages like that, and I know why, because I got that face sometimes. And you see that face, that's the other Mr. Clark, right? So I don't get those messages, right? Because I'm respectful to everybody, I mind my elders, I mind those around me, and everybody's idea is a good idea. We should always look into it and check it out. But, your business is your business. Your business is your bread and butter. Now, Mr. Clark has came out and said this is wrong, but I've also told you why it's wrong, and I've stood on that principle and told you what Mr. Clark is going to do, and then I told you, run your business how you want. I just want to give you this food for thought, and you can take it and leave it, or you can do what you want to do with it. And I feel like that's fair, because I challenge people, sometimes that when something is new and something is right, I challenge them to do that, just like I would challenge my soldiers back in the day. You challenge people to do better. Just because you did it this way for this long doesn't mean it was correct. The hardest part is change. To say, okay, I've been doing this like this for 5 years. This is the right way. Now I got to change everything over. Are you willing to do it, or you want to stay in that same rut? Because I can tell you, when you bring it that way, you get your blessings, okay? Mm-hmm. So, as everybody said, run your business how you want to run your business. I just say do it ethically and morally right, and do it the right way, okay? And that's why I say this is about how you treat each other. In my community, I don't want to see arguments on posts. I don't want to see people. I want to see solutions. I want to see resolve. I want to see that we can move past that, and somebody being a bigger person, even if they got to bite their tongue and say, you know what, you're right, even when they know they're right and the other person is wrong. That's what I want to see, because that shows your character. in life, you live and die by your character. Your character becomes your reputation, and your reputation is on trust. Trust is the one thing that takes your lifetime to build, and you can lose within 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you this. You can build trust with a person for 20 years in a marriage. You go out and do one wrong thing, and that trust is over. And once it's broken, you can't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Always remember the vase. You can take a vase and you drop it, and it breaks in 1,000 pieces. You can glue that vase together, right? But you're still going to see the cracks. And the cracks is the pain and the trauma that vase went through to get it back together. It'll always show. Okay? So, hello, Miss Tracy. He said has free will to go to a platform, and I try to one platform. Ignorance is bliss. Yes. So I don't keep everybody here at Purple Passion. I tell you guys to venture out, do what you need to do. But if you're looking for a home, if you're looking for people that want to, that want to see you successful and build, then this is the place to be. You can venture out, you can make this your home too. I'm not stopping anybody from doing anything. I'm not sending messages because I'm not, look, if I have to be worried about what the next person is doing, then I don't need to be doing what I'm doing because that means I'm not focused. All right. And say, all right, so thank you to White Tanya Alicia for introducing me to you and Miss Clark. You two are very beautiful people and run your business well. I can hear also. I'm here whenever you need me.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm laughing.
Telling you about my nap time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we definitely know.
You know what? I'm passing out all the time. Honestly, I probably get 4 hours of sleep. My wife is all like, she would talk to me and pass out. She'd be like, "Hey, you did it again." I'm like, "Oh my goodness, right?" So when we hit certain ages, we need nap time. And I always tell my wife, I said, "Well, originally a long time ago, the nap time was between 2 and 4 o'clock." Okay.
So
and there's a reason for that.
Like menopause for men?
So she goes, see, there she goes. Is that menopause for men? It might be.
Yeah, it might be.
Well, I'm gonna be in a long menopause. But
yeah, and we are very thankful. Also Miss Danielle Gordon. I believe she's only here because Tanya told me that she need a job.
Yeah, no, you know what?
Go.
You know what, you Miss Danielle, we deal with them Capricorns. Them Capricorns, they Johnny on the spot. They be moving, shoot, moving, communicating. I promise you. They jump on you, they get you busy, right? So they don't care how much sleep you got. They don't care if your back hurting. You better get moving, all right? And it better be done by COB, close of business, right? But we love and respect them because they're motivated. They are motivated. They would climb that mountain. They walk up the side of that mountain with hooves, all right? So I see that really match your outfit, Mr. Clark. You like me. I like, yeah. Me, I match everything to the T. You know what, Miss Danielle, I be matching down to the boxes and the socks too. I be having it all on. She be like, "Why you doing that?" I got my gators on and show. Why you putting on? I said, because I need to have them on because it matches the outfit, okay? I need to feel complete. All right.
Oh, she's also Capricorn.
You're Capricorn too? Oh, yes, my goodness.
Honey.
Oh my goodness. Our new house companion is one. Is a Capricorn. Gizmo. My wife is a Capricorn. My son is a Capricorn. My father is a Capricorn. My mother is not.
She said my home is primarily here for sure. I venture, but I know what time the street lights come on. Yep, street lights always out there somewhere.
You guys know how it was back in the day. You get there and the street lights is on.
She's a Capricorn too.
Yeah, she's a Capricorn. Yep, Miss Chicago
said she's a Capricorn. In the house?
Miss Holmes say roar. That roar doesn't tell me if you're a Capricorn or not, Miss Holmes.
She's a roar.
You're a roar. I don't know what sign that is.
Animal.
That is an animal, huh? Yeah, you guys know how it was back in the day with the street lights. I remember one time I was telling my son, because he was late coming in with street lights. I said, "You didn't see the street lights on?" "No, Dad. No, Dad." And I'm looking at him like, I remember one time I was in South Bend, Indiana, and I ran to the door, and the street lights was already on when I got to the door. But they came on right when I ran up to the door, and my mother's there waiting. Right? And I'm like, oh man, so everywhere I moved, she stepped in front of me. And she said, "What'd I tell you?" And I was like, "You told me on when the street lights came on." And then she like, "So what happened?" I'm like, "The street light came on when I was running onto the porch." No, still late. Whoosh, 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 in the house. My friends was at the corner watching this, right? Man, they talked about me so bad for like the next 2 weeks. Like I didn't even want to go outside anymore, right? Because you be telling them you don't be getting whippings and you doing all that stuff. Oh yeah.
Miss McLean, also Capricorn.
Yeah, Miss McLean Capricorn. Yeah,
I think Purple Passion's boutique is running up on a lot of
Capricorns. So
there's a reason for that.
Well, you know what they say, the most successful is Capricorns. That's what they say. They say, just because of the mentality, right? So, so when the street lights come on, you better be in the house, okay? But no, just to back to what I was saying, right? I just want to say that we're not here watching everybody else. Like I said,
we are
you do you, boo boo.
And begin of the year.
You do
That's
you, boo boo.
right. Oh yeah, Mr. Kelly's Capricorn too.
Yeah.
Yes, honey.
Yeah. So
I think you misplaced, bro. You're not a
no,
Capricorn.
I'm a Libra. We the balance.
You the balance.
We the balance.
Yes.
But when we get upset, it's something different.
Capricorn rule.
That's
right.
We have to stay motivated and keep moving, and we have to start start drinking that that Gatorade and not that haterade. We got to start congratulating each other. We got to start helping each other. We got to start praying for each other, right? The minute something goes wrong, we start bashing them. And I knew this about this person, this, that, and the third. We need to start praying for each other. We need to start saying, finding a better way to communicate what that issue is, because that's the only way that we grow and get better. Okay. And I'm telling you guys that because I call this a community. We have to be able to talk to the side of the community. We have to be able to correct and direct. We have to be able to do that. Okay. So let me move on so I don't bore you guys on the same point. Okay. So
no, let's talk about Capricorn.
Let's talk about Capricorn. No. We would not do that.
I think a Capricorn, right? Before we move on to the next spot, is it is about me like that, but I think that every Capricorn is actually like this. That we are very strong-willed people, and that we are not satisfied if things are not going the right way, because there's only one way, and there's the right way. And if it's not going that way, then we make it go that way. Yeah, that's the thing about a Capricorn. That's what I think. So
that is a Capricorn. That's the horns.
Yeah, when something is like bending and goes the wrong direction, we bend it into the right direction, until we hit goal.
So they do have you bent. If you're a Capricorn, they do have you bent like handlebars, right? Yeah. You're going to bend them the other way, huh?
Mr. Clark, I'm with you. I'm Libra also. Let us stay balanced.
It's not.
Yes,
I tell people that we the balance, and when you see that evilness, that's because we're unbalanced and we're trying to find that rhythm back. Mm-hmm. And that's what it is. But, I always say the Libra is there to balance all, because it's both scale. It's got the scale and the sword. We're there to balance all the signs,
Yeah, so, I do have to say, without my husband, like, he's the quiet one and the balanced one, really. This is the balance in our relationship, honestly. The Libra. Yeah,
I just, like I said, I try to.
Tanya, I don't know how you do this with two Capricorn.
Yeah, Woo! So, like I said, it's, it is that way. And signs signs do mean a lot. I tell people that signs do mean a lot, They do, but, I want to let you guys know that monitor the lineup. All right. That lineup is posted the night before. It's going to be posted the next morning via a reel. Okay. So if you don't know when your time is, or if you've forgotten, you can also go to the business page, use that for a reference point. Look at the lineup the night before. It's posted no later than 9 p.m. EST. Okay? And it's posted every morning on the business page.
So the lineup for the next day, like today, for example, is Sunday, right? Mm-hmm. So tonight, I would say between 9 and 10 o'clock, Latoya is posting the lineup for Monday already. Right. So if you are interested in going live, for example, on Monday, then you can look what is open still. Right. And book a slot at nighttime. Or you can check the lineup Monday morning, because this is when I put a reel out, and I put all the people who are going live with the flyers and the reel, and I run it, So in the morning you can see it too. So it get posted twice.
Right, and lots of times with the admin, right? If you call my admin, she's gonna get to you when she can. But when she's making that post, she's giving you that raw, like the raw meat before you season it, right? She's giving you that raw material, saying these are the bookings, these are the openings, okay? So you want to look into that, because sometimes when you look at that calendar, it may what?
What I'm saying is that with the lineup, when you are booked, then you can check if you booked underneath the right time too. Right. Because mistakes happen. We are only humans, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe you are booked an hour early or an hour late, so you can book, or maybe you're not even on there. So you're like, hey, why I'm not on the lineup, So this is also for you a double check, to go to the business page and check if you and your flyer are on there.
And why am I saying this? I give you guys the why. Why am I giving all this information about what a seller is supposed to do? Because I've had people that are booking. They're not even supposed to be booked yet. They're not even supposed to be booked, and then I've got this seller that's in the middle, and she's on here and she knows who she is, and then that person don't even go live, and they're saying they wasn't supposed to be scheduled. They don't know why they're scheduled, but flyers are put in with a time frame. Flyers are not put in with a time frame. Our calendar is not reflecting the same thing. So we've got a lot of inconsistencies, and it's not just on that reseller. It's also on us too, right? Because we're all tracking different times from rescheduling and stuff. So go check that time and verify what you see on your calendar on that lineup to know whether you have that live. I'm telling you to do this because I know that conflict. I don't throw salt or put it on anybody because that's everybody's fault at the end of the day if that schedule doesn't run right. But the person that suffers is that seller that's in between, before or after, because they're not getting their time and they're not able to do what they need to do. And everybody's schedule is important, and they need to be able to get in and do their live, get what they can to get out of it. And that's going to be very important. So don't forget your confirmations either, okay?
So I want to say something to that too. So what that said is, I don't care. If you have a situation that you can't remember whether you booked a live or not, I don't care if you say that.
Yeah, she said, remember, Latoya Coleman cannot comment on posts and lives right now.
Yes, I know.
That's for everybody else in the community.
Right. Yes, she's blocked from Facebook till the 28th.
Our admin Latoya is no man commenting. She can't comment on stuff, so she's not ignoring you. Reach out to her DM right when you need something directly, okay?
So let's go back to booking lives, right? So I experienced lately, and this happened like 2 times in a row or 3 times in a row. Sellers, they're booking lives, right? And they'll be like, oh, I didn't know I booked it. And then I'd be like, you sent me the flyer. Here's the flyer. Oh, I can't remember that I even sent the flyer. I can't even remember that I made the flyer. Hell, I'm sleepwalking. I don't even remember sleepwalking. Things like this. So I do not want to hear that. When you send me something, go in your inbox and check what you send in the next morning. If you have to cancel. I'm the last person that you cannot talk to, okay? But don't come up and tell me nothing that you don't remember this or remember that or whatever. Because if I have a flyer from you, then you definitely send the flyer to me, okay? So you have to be cautious of what are you doing. And if it's going so far that you don't remember at all, then there's a big problem, There's a very big problem. So, and I don't even know if you should go live if you don't remember anything, This is a big situation right here. Because and also, if you are, I call it a ghoster at that point, right? That you book lives and you are no-show, you don't show up, right? So that keeps others from having their spot or booking. And most of the time, it's the night spots, like at 9:45, 10 o'clock. That's the actual spots that people like on the weekend. And when you book this, first of all, you pay for it, right? Then you have to pay a cancellation fee because you are not showing up. That is $5, and you not even have a live. Okay, so please check and write it down. Whatever you're doing, write it down. This is like Miss Maya said. This is very important to keep track of what you're booking. So, and also when we have sometime bundle deals, like I tell people, I had a seller that asked me. She said, "Oh, you don't have nothing in February? No bundle deals going on?" I said, no, I don't have no bundle deals because we're going with the Valentine's week for $2.14, right? $2.14. So I said, but you can book 10 lives for $20.14. You're like, okay, no, there's a bundle deal then. Yes, there's a bundle deal, but no, when you book those 10 lives, don't be in my inbox asking me when are my lives. When are my lives? When I'm going live. You should keep track of it. And plus,
okay, I got to stop her right now. She done went into my notes already. She didn't even let me get there, Queens. I don't understand what's going on here. I'm looking at my notes. I'm like, this is exactly what I have in here next, right? So
I have CRS. What is that? CRS.
I have CRS. No, you don't.
What is
CRS?
You don't.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You just have a lot going on. That's what it is. And you still manage everything here. That's all it is, Miss Alicia. That's all it is. And when you're running on the federal side of things, it's just how it is. Because you're required to have a lot up here. So when we get older, we have to change up a little bit. That's all. So Like, so I'll read my notes, okay? It says, if you can't attend, follow the Purple Passion Boutique cancellation and reschedule rules early. No last-minute chaos disguised as an emergency every week. Every time when you realize you should be live, you're not supposed to be there. One person died, and they still made the phone call to my admin expert and told them they couldn't make the live. So I don't know how they died and still made the phone call. That one was weird, right? You have all types of situations happen, and in the process, they think about calling you instead of attending to whatever that emergency is. We're not that important for you to lie to if you can't make the live. Just say you can't make the live, pay your cancellation fee. We understand different things happen too, okay? And what I'm saying is what not allowed looks like is booking and then asking staff repeatedly, what time am I on? Acting surprised by your own schedule, ignoring lineup updates, and then blaming everyone else. Okay.
Oh, can't remember it.
So, you can't remember, stuff like that. That's okay if you've had some reschedules and you may say, okay, I'm seeing that I'm rescheduled. Am I good? I understand that. But when every time you have a live and you're calling like, hey, my admin's like, hey, am I live today? What's my schedule? There's enough information put out that you can check and verify. If you're writing it down yourself, if you're checking your confirmation email, and you just go to your search engine inside your email and type in Purple Patch Boutique or whatever it is, it's going to pull up everything for that. And you can go and then check to see if you're live. Go check the lineup on the business page. There's so many things that you can check to verify. So I want you to verify, don't trust. I want you to go check it out first on your end before you reach out, because that takes time away from my admin to be doing other things, and for my wife too, to be doing more things for the community to help the platform become a better platform, okay? You kind of hinder that and take that away. So again, what not allowed looks like is booking and then asking staff repeatedly, what time am I on? Acting surprised by your own schedule. Ignoring lineup updates because the lineup is posted and blaming everyone else, okay? So, and again, the job for your book responsibility is to own your slot once you book it, to record your slot immediately, to know your start time, end time, and learn your time zone. Know who's before and after you for handoff respect. Mm-hmm. Monitor the lineup that's posted the night before and again the day of, okay? 9 p.m. is the latest time. It's going to be posted again in the morning as a reel, so you can check your time. And do not forget your confirmation email, okay? So flyer and promo responsibility. Remember, when you check that yes box, you say, will you have your flyer in 24 hours prior to your live? You always check yes in that block when you're booking. So make sure you have your flyer in 24 hours. If you want buyers, you promote. If you don't promote, you're basically opening a store in the desert and blaming the tumbleweeds. You guys know what the tumbleweeds are that be blowing across the desert, right? You're blaming them because you're not getting the full promotion and your sales are not matching. Well, your sales actually do match what your promotion is, okay? So let's get our flyers in too. Your flyers need to be submitted on time based on your platform's deadline, and they need to be accurate with date, time, slot length, claim words, shipping basis in your theme. We need them clean and professional, no clutter, no blurry graphics, no chaos front. And remember, your pre-live preparation starts 24 hours. And that really should be the first point, okay? Get your flyer in 24 hours prior, because that's when your promotion actually starts. That's when your preparation starts for your live show. And I'll tell you this should go for any platform you go on, whether it's Purple Passions or anybody. Make sure, even on your own page, your promotion should start 24 hours in front, okay? Make sure it's submitted on time based on the deadline of your platform, okay? Make sure it's clean and professional. Make sure it's accurate. Make sure it has all the information so your sellers can be like, okay, your shoppers can be like, okay, this is the time, this is what's going to be there, and they can decide whether they want to be there, and they can start prepping to be there at your live show, okay? And why is this important, right? Turning in your flyers builds muscle memory for you to know you're live in your time slot. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when we're doing this, right, when in my line of work that I had, right, for almost 30 years, right, it was the same thing all the time. I train on my weapon every year. I'm doing a PT test 2 times a year. I'm doing all this stuff. Any new train-up, any new engagement comes out, I'm learning how to redo a stack. I'm learning how to clear this room, clear that room. How to tap, shoot, move, communicate, battle buddy system, moving, right? Always doing something, right? Why are we training up? Because it builds muscle memory. So it becomes second nature. If you're training yourself to start prepping 24 hours out, to get your flyer 24 hours in, it's training your mind. Okay, I got to get my flyer in. I got to live. And what you're going to see is that you're going to start remembering this stuff without even having to write it down, okay? So turn in your flyers, Bill's bust them in for you to know you're live in your time slot. You know, right? And the problem is, it's exactly the ones that are no showing are exactly the ones that are not turning in their flyers. So I believe that process will, if you commit to doing your flyers when you book that live show, at least prepping it and then getting it in 24 hours, I believe that's going to calm down the no-show where you say, I can't remember, I didn't know I have a live, okay? And you guys know since 2026, that policy rule has been no flyer, no rights, no live. So Mr. Clark is not giving the rights if you don't turn in your flyer, which means you're not going to be able to go live. Whether you're paid or not, it's not happening, okay? I hate to be like that, but that is the new policy rule. That is what we're standing on, okay? And now I want you to always remember this point too. On other platforms, they don't require you turning a flyer. I've been to other platforms where they don't require you turning a flyer. And what I have here written down is that they don't care because they're charging you $15 to $20 an hour anyway. So what does it matter whether you have a flyer or not? They've got your money. They're going to play with your money. They've already spent your money. And you go live. What you do at that time frame is what you do. They just want to make sure that you're following the script. You're not selling inspired items or whatever. And they're like, hey, I got paid. Do your live. I hope you made some money. That's on you. Make sure you share and tag. Get yourself together. So when you come with me with the complaint, say, well, other platforms don't do this. I'm not the next platform. I'm not. And I don't step on what the next platform does. When you come over here, we want you to be professional. We're building professionals. We're building cohesion. We're building the right things. Turn in your flyer because your flyer has to do with your pockets. And I'm not pocket watching. I'm trying to line your pockets. So a pocket line, there's a difference between a pocket watcher and a pocket liner. A pocket watcher is watching what's going on in your pockets so they can figure out how to get what's going in your pockets into their pockets. A pocket liner is a person that's watching your pockets and he's like, you know what? They look a little bit flat. Let me see if I can put something in there for you to help you move along the way. Okay? So remember that. That's from Mr. Clark. So, a responsible seller does prep early so they're not panicking 5 minutes before going live and turning the live show into a tech support documentary, okay? And why do I say that? Because I'm the one messaging Gary when you guys have problems. And the first thing Gary tells me is, the first thing Gary tells me is, are they already live? Well, it would have helped if they would have told me this before the live or they would have got there early. So that way, we could have took care of this whole situation before they go live. Now I gotta send me the right so that way I can monitor the live and sometimes I have to do this, okay? So I just want to let you guys know that, okay? Communication boundaries, respecting staff time. Admins are there to run the platform, not to run the personal planning for you, okay? So always remember that at the bottom line, okay? So I'm just going to give you guys just these last points, right? A responsible seller does not call the owner or scheduler repeatedly to ask what they booked themselves. They do not wait until until minutes before the live to report technical issues. They don't treat admin like a reminder service, but a responsible seller does read the lineup post, use the booking system correctly, reports real issues clearly and with screenshots and clear details, and they follow the escalation rules, which is one point of contact, not 3 people at once, okay? Always remember that the Purple Passion Golden Rule is if your behavior would annoy you as the seller before you, the seller after you, the admin and the buyer, then it's not responsible, okay? So take that into consideration. You want to talk about that last pirate ship point? About the pirate ship?
Also,
that's your baby right there.
Please, and I'm gonna say this for the last time, right? Probably not, but I'm gonna say it today for the last time. Use pirate ship. Sellers use pirate ship. So it came to my attention that we have sellers on our platform that are not using pirate ship, that are going to the post office. Okay.
Everybody can't.
Then you get everybody can if they put the effort into it. If you need help trying to find out how to use pirate ship, how to ship packages convenient to a cheap price, cheaper than the post office, then please do so. Do not come up with those crazy fees like $10 and $13 flat rate shipping and stuff like that because you don't use pirate ship. Pirate ship cuts almost like for a pound of package, right? If you ship it out. I said, and it's like the furthest down across the whole United States. I say the most what you would pay is $9, okay? That's like the most, or $9.20. But if you if you don't use pirate ship, you coming up fees with $13, $15, $17. Okay, so this is why sellers go to the post office and they have this called flat rate shipping, and they shipping with USPS. Also, the thing is that that they don't wait nothing. They go into the post office, wait it there, and ship it directly from the post office. So, and know that the post office do not have pirate ship. So you cannot put in the address, the correct address from the shoppers, in the system. You rely on what the post office is saying. And sometimes the address is wrong in the post office because they don't put it manually in like we do with pirate ship. So please be aware of this. And this is a very big issue. Packaging is the next thing. Please, if you have items that can be that be breakable, like cologne, lotions, candles, and stuff like that, please make sure you use bubble wrap. And I had even used bubble wrap, and they still broke and came broken, know. But what I do is I go and I refund or I resend the item. So, yes, you can give it also into the hands of the post office, right? They say the file a claim or whatever, but they want then pictures of the packaging. They want pictures how the item came. They want pictures what got destroyed. And I think Miss Denise sent me a picture from a Yara that she sent out, and it came broken to the customer. So, again, I'm telling you guys, use pirate ship, put in the right information. If you have a new shopper, please check with the shoppers there if there is an apartment or anything that need to be added, because those packages will come back if you don't put the apartment number in. Okay?
All the way back.
All the way back. It can even be just an A or B that is missing, and it comes all the way back to you. And sometimes the package don't come back because it gets stolen, because they just throw it somewhere when they cannot find the right person.
Put it in a resend crate.
Right.
Return the sender crate.
Yes, they handle our packages rough. Exactly, Miss Jessica. And that's the thing. That's the thing that they stepping on it. Okay, packages get stepped on. They get thrown into buckets, into containers, and all kind of stuff. Heavy stuff goes on light packages. They don't care. That's just how things get handled. So please be aware when you ship out. Breakable things that you need to bubble wrap, and then again maybe a box will be better or whatever, because you're gonna deal with the headache of the shopper. They're gonna be in your inbox crying, being mad and upset when they get broken items. All right, and then and my last thing with the pirate ship is nobody wants to pay for 5 items or 6 items $10 or $13 shipping fee. Okay, so it is just too much. So just if you need help, please reach out to me, and I'm gonna tell you how to use pirate ship.
Right. So
yes, and that too.
So I would caveat on this last point. So I tell you guys what's happening when you go to the post office, right? I don't know if you ever had a situation. You'll give them something to send, and they'll type an address in, but this address is not pulling up. Are you sure you have the right address? Yes, it's the correct address. So they have to do something in the system in order to fix it, or they can't, or they'll tell you to take back the package and redo it. So that's why when you shouldn't put it into the hands of the post office lots of times, because they may or may not have that correct address, okay? Whether someone updates the address through change the address or not, right? When you go through pirate ship, you are able to manually input that address, input their email, set it so when you print off that label, they get a confirmation email with the tracking number already for their package. So you don't have to deal with people asking you about tracking, okay? Now, what I do is I like to verify between loyal shops and I put that address in there, and then also when they pay, and it says if you're using Score to say ship to, and also on PayPal too, I believe it has the same thing. It's going to let you know some form of the address used for their pay. Normally, that's going to be the most updated and correct address. Okay, if you see any discrepancies between the two, reach out to that shopper. To make sure the address is correct, and shoppers, make sure you're giving the correct address information, as Miss Tanya Alicia just put in the comments right now. So read that comment, okay? Also, like Miss Manya said, get a scale. Get your scale and weigh your item to whatever those dimensions are. Now, if you want some classified, unclassified training, it's gonna be $25 on shipping for me. But in that training, you're going to get a lot of tips and tricks of the trade of what's going on logistically and how you pack and where you need to be at. When you need to use boxes, how what your mailers are, what is considered a mail. I'm going to give you a whole school that you're not going to get probably in a lot of places, okay? But that's up to you if you're sure about shipping. Now,
the scale is very important.
The scale is important, okay? I have a scale, okay? You can also get a scale that's hooked up to your laptop that's automatically going to push it over to there. There's a lot of things you can do, okay? Also, you know, when you're going to the post office, I want you guys to understand, check with your sellers to see how they're shipping. Because if they're going to the post office, you cannot get a tracking number until they go to that post office, okay? And send that package out. So while they may have missed the day they're supposed to ship, they're going on the next day, which is that following Wednesday.
$22 for shipping.
What?
A reseller charged me $22 for shipping. I was disappointed because the weight of my item and distance was not much. I have a scale. Just be mindful. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. See.
Well, Purple Patch, everybody knows how we're running over here as far as with the shipping. Okay, that's a travesty. I don't. You know, I'm not even going to comment on that one because I've done so much speaking and talking about what shipping should be. Okay. As far as even with late fees and all that stuff, I've done all that already. So if anybody needs to know directly what Mr. Clark thinks, I can give you the information. But use pirate ship because pirate ship is saving you money. Because I also got sellers on the other end that are going to the post office that are eating the cost on the opposite end. So it's not that they're charging that. They're charging a set amount for a flat rate, and then they're going there and they're eating the cost on the opposite end of that, okay? And so I'm not just saying this for the person that's overcharging. I'm saying that for the person that's undercharging too. I have both, okay? And what I'm saying is use pirate ship. If you don't know, ask. And you don't have to just ask me. You can reach out to other people too. I'm pretty sure you can ask Miss Tanya. You can ask Miss Munn. You can ask a lot of people. If I train you, I'm going to give you some really extensive training. And it's going to be worth your time and money too. You're going to be there with me probably an hour to 2 hours. You know, getting it in and understanding what you need. And you'll probably get a module homework too for you to get back with me so that I know that you understand what's going on.
And the thing was, Ms. Minnie says right here is also, when you are filling out, you know, the register form. So this is exactly how we're going to take your information. If you put in register, let's say, and you don't put your apartment number in, or you don't put nothing like this in, then this is exactly how we take it over and how we ship it then. You know, because this is how it goes into lawyer shops. So, and if you don't write it right, then this is how you either not getting your package or how packages, you know, get sent back. So be mindful, take your time when you fill out that register form.
I even had somebody, their email address was Gmall, right? So they must have been thinking about going to the mall, you know, a whole bunch of what G's was at, right? So they was gmall.com. But I was smart enough to figure it was probably Gmail, right? So sometimes we got to use our intuition, right? Because they was going to the mall. They was like at gmall.com. And I was like, I can't believe this, right? So, you know, we got to be mindful. That's why I always say at the beginning, put in all your information so that it's there and we can use that to populate on there, okay? So, right, and that's different, Miss Alicia, because when you have those heavy boxes, I know when I first started off, I had some big items and stuff like that too, so I understand that. But you know, if you send in 5 blouses and you charge somebody $22, wow, those must be some. They must have a lot of rhinestones on those.
When we first started, we didn't know that we can put bags, like plastic bags over boxes.
Right.
We didn't know that, and this is basically considered then a mailer, right? So we shipped out the box like it is, you know, measure all sides and everything, weighted, and we paid like $35, $37 in shipping, you know, and then couldn't figure out why are we not making money in our business? Why everything goes into shipping until we got enlightened, you know. We got awakened from actually Miss Susan Dole. She said, she messaged me, she was like, girl, you paid so much in shipping.
I do have to say that. If it wasn't for Miss Susan Doles and she's out there in Washington, man, I would still be paying too much for shipping, okay? That was absolutely ridiculous, okay? Because we were putting everything in boxes. We didn't understand about putting bags over the trash bags, you know, mailers and all that stuff. I promise you, I think my biggest package, I paid like 40 some on there, and I put it in a big, huge box. So listen, trust me, I've been there. So I say this in all good. I'm trying to help you. Good. I'm glad you're back, Miss Knight. So, you know, I've been there, so I'm saying that to help you guys out, okay? So, with that said, we're on next, right?
No, Miss Jessica Presley is on next.
Oh man, did I go into her time?
No, she goes. She goes out.
Woo, I'm sorry. I'm up talking about encroaching on time. I done went into her time.
We are on at 4:45 for 2 hours today. Come on and shop with us on Purple Passions Boutique. We have Yara giveaway, jewelry giveaway again today. So it's gonna be very nice and very cute. Join me at 4:45. Me and Mr. Clark. Miss Jessica Presley is coming on in the next hour.
Miss Jessica Presley be on within the next hour. Show her some support, okay?
3:30 EST.
3:30 EST. Miss Jessica Presley. I want you guys to come in and support this queen, okay? Because she's giving us a lot of support. We're coming on after that, and I forget who's coming on after that, but we'll mention that when we're there at that level there, okay? So with that said, I'm going to get out of here so I don't take everybody's time. Let me see what. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to encroach nobody's time, right? So my wife was up to give me a horn like, hey, get off, you're talking too much. So I appreciate you guys 1,000%. If you guys need anything, you can still drop it in the chat. I'm gonna go through the chat to see if I missed anything. Send me a direct message on my wife. Love you guys to death. Thank you guys for being the best part of Purple Patch Boutique. Please go check out that Valentine's week. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be great. There's gonna be a lot of good things in there, okay? And until then, you guys have a great night. Miss Kim, Miss Presley, Miss Hong. Love you all. Mwah.